mornings are the most wonderful time, mostly because nobody can take them away from you, because they're not awake to disturb you. Everything is out and about in the early mornings. Much of this footage was taken between 5 and 6:30 in the morning, and some of my locations, which are on roads, as you will see, a car does not pass for the entire 2 hours that I spend there. It is also amazing how, if you just stay quiet and still, species will go about their business around you. These mandarin duck just landed beside me. The roe deer just came down to drink, not far from me. For photographers, that car mount is made by Leo Photo. It's WN-03 car mount. It's very difficult to find, but it works extremely well and it's very secure, and you can drive with it. I mean, I've driven up to 30-40 miles an hour with the rig set up. Attached to it is a Gitzo fluid gimbal. And you just need to make sure that everything is tight and secure. The reason why I show you the camera swiveling is that really helps to stay with birds in flight from the car. So you want that loose and ready for action. I don't always use the car mount. It depends on the situation and whether I can find good cover. Obviously, a tripod gives you greater versatility in terms of angle, and that is why I've shown myself setting up a tripod. But when you set up the tripod, you need to work out how to best position its feet and your feet so that you're able to swivel following the bird. In my experience, it's better to have 2 legs facing you, which are therefore make for a flat area around which you can move, and 1 leg forward, rather than 1 leg towards you and 2 legs out the front. This makes it easier to maneuver. The barn owls often do a circuit, which allows you to get into position ready to photograph them oncoming. In the case of these clips, the birds were going out into the field and up the valley and then returning, flitting through the sunlight, coming towards me. Barn owls will establish a territory of up to something like 5,000 hectares. And once they've established that territory, they will stay there for life, because getting to know the territory gives them a great benefit in terms of knowing where food can be found and which places to hunt. The most threatened time for barn owls is through the winter, particularly towards the end of what's called the hunger gap, when the food is running out and the new blossom of wildlife has not begun to show. This tends to be February and March. The most common cause of their demise is starvation. But cold temperatures, too much rain. Keep in mind they cannot hunt in the rain because their feathers are designed for silence, not to hunt in the wet. And if they are hunting in the wet, their prey can often hear them because their wings are noisy, whereas when dry, they are soundless. And finally, snow cover for a long period can do a lot of damage to the survivability of barn owls. The barn owls would often make their way up the middle of the field, along the border between the longer undergrowth and the shorter field. Here you see a classic barn owl hunting situation, making his way along the hedgerow. Thereafter, you can enjoy a series of clips, all of barn owls making their way along Cotswold stone walls with hedges and brambles along them. These barn owls and the hares and grey partridges and yellowhammers and a myriad of other wildlife are thriving because this is a managed estate that has enjoyed the assistance of the GWCT, the Game and Wildlife Conservation Trust, to manage its ground. These barn owls are hunting over margins, wildflower fields, and areas that have been left fallow. As an experiment, I left a microphone to record the sounds for about 45 minutes, and I went for a drive around the area where I've been seeing the barn owls. Sometimes I see up to a dozen barn owls just sitting from my car, observing them at distance. But once I left these estates, I did not see one barn owl on the rest of my drive. The muntjac just quietly made his way straight towards me until he was right at the hedge in front of me. The same applies to the barn owls. Sometimes I'll put myself against the car. They're hunting in areas where there are cars, and therefore they're used to the cars. Therefore, to stand against the car, not dressed in bright colours, is good enough for them not to be too bothered about you. Other times I will use the hedge as a background, or a hedge in front of me to break me up. What you don't want to do is stand as a silhouette against the sun. I hope you've enjoyed this film and it inspires you to help look after barn owls through the winter.